in your church, you've always specialized in, I would say, the many times I've heard you, apologetics. You provide a great defense of the gospel and help open up the words so that people who aren't believers could understand more about Jesus. You just recently had a book that you collaborated on, Everyday Apologetics, which I think is now out, and you have specialized in evangelism. What has changed in this season around evangelism with everything moving online? How have you engaged your congregation to be activated in inviting, because they're not inviting to a physical site, they're inviting online? How has evangelism shifted or become different in this season?
Well, I think that if your people, so same principle applies. If your people are excited about what you do in church every week, they're going to invite a friend or family member that don't know Jesus because you're speaking to them. Look, if every sermon you preach, you never say, hey, by the way, if you're an atheist, you might think this about this text. Or if you're a Buddhist, you might, if you never say that as a preacher, then why would I ever bring my friend? Because you're not talking to them. So right from the beginning, you got to talk to them every week. So we've done that every week since we started. Almost 90% of sermons you'd ever listen to me, I'm saying, if you're a Buddhist, if you're a Muslim, if you're a Jew, if you're an atheist, if you're agnostic, if you're New Age, here's how you think about this text, and here's what this text is saying to you. Every single week for 10 years, you build a culture of that, and then people start. So going online, that conversation has just expanded. It's just been like, well, now you're watching online. You're just sitting there on your phone. You're sitting in your living room, and you don't believe anything I'm saying right now. In fact, you were reading this, and you're that, and you're New Age this, and you've been reading Deepak Chopra that or whatever. Well, let me tell you what Jesus has to say. If people are excited about that, then they're going to share that online in the same way that they would have invited them to the physical space. And so I don't think you have to, if you're doing stuff that your people are proud of and excited about, I don't think you have to like force them to share it and be like, okay, everyone, now make sure you share this, and shame them into it. They're going to be excited. They're going to want to share it. And so if your people aren't sharing it, whether that's YouTube channels or Facebook stuff or Twitter stuff or Instagram or emails or whatever, then you got to ask the question, why?
Yeah.
Is it something to do with what we're saying and doing? Or is it that they're not evangelistic? And so a next practical step we've done is, now that we in BC, and I don't know across Canada what the rules are, but we're allowed to gather with 50 people. So one of the things that we announced was, let's start having house church parties on Sunday. So what we do is we put our services online as kind of a live experience at 7 a.m. And that's in order to reach Ontario and the East Coast, because we have a lot of people from across Canada, and that's what we want. So you want to come back to a bit of the vision piece of what we see ourselves doing. But 7, 9, 11, but then it goes up on demand, YouTube at 1 o'clock, where people can at any moment during their day and pause it, whatever, watch the whole service. And that's actually, increased our engagement a lot. But being able to do that and then have people over to their house. So have 30 people, have 20 people, your neighbors, as you know, Shayla, with Alpha, your neighbors are going to, kind of that hospitality or evangelism comes with the house key kind of philosophy, where it's like your neighbors are going to come into your house for hospitality, food, hangout, whatever. If you put a church service on and go, hey, we're going to all sit and watch church together, and then we're going to all eat and hang out, your neighbors will come to that. So we've encouraged our church, start doing those house church parties and kind of see where that goes. So.